welcome to this week's episode of The Effects Loop. I'm your host, Jay Byrne. This week I'm going to do something a little bit different. I've done top 5 episodes before. This is kind of like in response to a couple other videos that I saw. Not really a commentary video on those videos, but just my own take on the subject matter. Reverb.com posted a video where they were at a festival, like a rock festival, and they were talking to the artists and they asked them what they thought was the heaviest guitar riffs of all time. And you know, they all had different answers and stuff. I'm not really here to talk about their answers, but another YouTube channel, which is an awesome channel by the way, it's called Music is Win, and I watch all of his videos, I should say. His ultimately, spoiler alert if you haven't seen the video, ultimately his take was that he thought that Sad But True by Metallica was the heaviest riff of all time. Which, I mean, that's good. That's not going to be on my list because I picked different stuff. But that's a good choice. I mean, I got to agree. That's a really good choice. However, I will put links to those 2 videos in the description below, so that way you can check them out if you're interested in checking out those videos. What I wanted to do is I just wanted to do it as one of my regular top 5 videos. So to me, this is my, I wouldn't say top 5, but this is 5 of my favorite heavy riffs. And I got a little controversial with the list here, and you'll see why as I get through it. But I think I picked 5 really good choices, and the way I'm judging it is it's not so much heavy as in heavy as in when you're playing the guitar or you're listening to the riff, you want to put your fist through a wall, you want to throw the guitar, you want to hit hard as you play. That's how I decided what was the heaviest riffs. And to avoid copyright issues, I'm going to play the riffs instead of actually playing the songs, because if I play the songs, this whole video is just going to get copyrighted. So what I'll do is I'll play the riffs for you after I talk about why I chose that particular riff. My first one, my number 1 that I'm going to talk about here, of course, is a Black Sabbath riff. But it's not the Black Sabbath riff you think I'm going to say, and it's not any of the ones that you think I'm going to say. Well, maybe, I don't know, maybe somebody out there is going to think I'm going to say this. It's a song from the 1971 album Master of Reality. It's a song called After Forever. It's right after the opening lick. It's the main riff to the song, and it just sounds so heavy. Every time I listen to it, I go, wow, man, this must have been so heavy to people back in 1971. They must have been like, what is this band? They're just so dark and grungy. And, you know, it's Tony Iommi's style. It's just his thing. It's what he does. And it's the main riff right after the lead-in for the song After Forever from Master of Reality, 1971 by Black Sabbath. Alright, so now we're at the second one I want to talk about here is another heavy band, but it makes sense. Anthrax, but the song Antisocial. Now, right after the opening lick, it's just like straight G chords and a straight C chord. It goes into this riff. This is actually from the 1988 album State of Euphoria. I didn't say so. It goes into this riff. It might not be the heaviest riff that they ever wrote, but if you're playing this riff on the guitar, it's all downstrokes, and it's like you're just banging on the strings. It's one of those riffs that you really have to get into it to play it. And that's why I think it's like one of their heaviest riffs, because it hits you hard, and you have to really got to focus, and you really got to downstroke, and you really got to play it and to play that riff. And that's the reason why I picked this particular riff. So my number 3 here, I'm going back a bit here. This is the 90s, okay? It's from a song called Milquetoast by the band Helmet. The album was Betty, and it came out in 1994. It's a great album. Helmet was a really cool band. Not really sure if they're still around, but they released quite a few albums, and they were big during like the 90s MTV alternative era. I saw Helmet play at a small club in Providence, Massachusetts called Lupo's. And we went to go see them, and we were close to the stage because it wasn't that big of a place. You know, 4 collegey looking dudes walk out and they're like, "Hey Providence, how you doing?" Blah, 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 strapping their guitars on and everything. And then they just kick into this riff, the dan dun dan and dun dan, and it goes right into the riff. And the freaking place broke out into this massive pit. I mean, I was getting thrown around left and right. I mean, it was chaos. And it's just these 4 like normal looking collegey dudes just walk out on the stage. "Hey man, what's going on?" And then it's like they just rip the place a new one. And it's always stuck in my head as one of the heaviest moments I've ever seen live by a band. So that's why that particular riff stands out to me as a really good heavy riff. So now we're gonna get a little bit, I don't know what controversial, but this is my number 4 on the list here is, I'm gonna do the bass line, not a guitar line, but the bass line to the Beastie Boys song Sabotage, okay? This is from their 1994 album Ill Communication. And I mean, I saw them live at Lollapalooza too, and the crowd just erupted into like a crazy pit during this song as well. But there's just something right after that opening, and then the bass just kind of comes in, and it's like this raunchy, distorted bass line that's just rough and to the point. I'm gonna play it, try to do it justice. It's one of those things where it's almost like you need the band behind you playing it to really feel it. But I think I did a pretty decent job. But I'm just really listening to the sound of this bass and the grunginess of this riff, and it just, I mean, I don't know, it just hits you hard when you're listening to the song, and it's just a really cool lick, and the song is super simple. It's literally like an A chord through like the whole damn song, but it's this like weirdo punk rock song by the Beastie Boys during their era when they were kind of like showing some of their punk roots as well. So yeah, I don't know, it's just a great song, and it's a really cool, punchy riff. Alright, so we're at my number 5 now, and my last one on my list, and this one's going to be interesting, and this one is a bit historical, I think. My number 5 is the song Rumble by RAY and his RAY Men. It was released as a single in 1958, which the B-side of the single was the song The Swag, which I actually did my own cover on, which is great. It was used in the movie Pink Flamingos by John Waters as well. And it's, I don't know, it's just a great song, and it was one of the first songs of its kind to use this grungy distortion to the sound that just, it hit hard with this grungy distortion. Now you gotta think, this is 1958. So people were just like, whoa. And there's a documentary called Rumble, The Indians Who Rocked the World. Came out in 2017. It's a great documentary. They talk about RAY in it. And I don't think it can be stated enough how parents of the time were afraid of RAY. Like, this song was like controversial for its time. It scared the crap out of parents because it has this punk rocky kind of, I mean, this is before punk rock, but it has this heavy like juvenile delinquent thing going on. I think that's the best way to describe it. It's like a juvenile delinquent song. It's just, it's really raunchy, really in your face and straightforward, and it was an instrumental. There was no singing on it, no lyrics or nothing. But it was just, I mean, this is the stuff that the thugs listened to in the 50s, you know, the greasers, the whatever you want to call them. Like, this is what they played when they were hanging out, like drinking beer, goofing off, ripping people off, robbing places, doing stuff. This is the music that the thugs listened to in 1958. So it's kind of funny to look at it in that way. That's it. That's my video for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. That's 5 of what I think are some of the heaviest guitar and bass riffs of all time. And they all have that, you know, you just want to beat the crap out of the guitar and chuck it through a window or put your fist through a wall feeling. And I think that's what kind of like illustrates to me what would be a heavy riff, you know? But if you like this kind of content, like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what you think are your favorite heavy riffs of all time. That'd be kind of fun to read other people's comments in the comment section to see what you think are the heaviest riffs. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? You know, let me know. These are kind of, I thought about it for a while to come up with a cool list. So yeah, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get known about new videos, and I just posted a whole bunch of old music videos up of my work. Just to get them out there if anyone actually wants to see them. They're all from the 2000s or so. They're kind of fun to watch. So yeah, if you're into that, check those out. Let me know what you think of those. And anyway, I'll see you next time. This has been the Effects Loop. I'm Byrne. Have a good day. Take care, guys.